and welcome to this video all about my Happy Memories quilt. Now, if you don't know what my Happy Memories quilt is, it's a quilt as you go quilt that I've been working on for a few years now, very slowly, where I'm stitching into it memories of happy things, and I keep it in this little Liberty suitcase, and I just work on it from time to time, and it's a very lovely project. It's my comfort project, or at least one of my comfort projects anyway. I've had some requests for a tutorial on how to make the half hexagons to straighten the edge off, and I will show you that later in the video. But first of all, I'm just going to get everything out, have a look at it because I haven't had it out for a while, and I'm going to make a very special block first of all because there's something quite significant happening, and I want to use this quilt as a way of recording those things. One of the things that I've been doing is using vintage embroidery transfers to make embroideries for some of the blocks, and that's what I want to do for today's very special block. So I'm going through my collection of vintage transfers to find the perfect one, and as always happens with these things, I went through the whole pile, but it turned out that the very first one I picked up had the perfect motif in it for what I want to embroider today. So I don't want to actually use the vintage transfer, I want to preserve it for the future. So I either scan them in or trace them off, but today what I did was just take a photo with my phone, then I drew over it on the iPad to get the design exactly how I wanted it. I changed the outline, like the border around it a little bit. So there's different ways, different things you can do to not actually use up the transfer, so you've got that design forever then. And it is a little kitten, so I wonder if you can guess what significant thing might be happening and why I want to stitch this lovely little kitten or cat. So to outline this little kitten motif, I am just using 2 strands of embroidery thread in a mixture of colours. I'm using some back stitch and some straight stitch, and then I'll use satin stitch for the eyes of the little kitten and some straight stitches for the mouth. So you might have guessed by now, but we recently welcomed a new friend to our home. This is our rescue cat, Georgina. She is such a sweetheart. She started out being quite nervous and shy, hiding behind things, but slowly she has started to come out of her shell, and she just loves company, loves strokes. She's so friendly and is going to be a wonderful companion. Our house definitely feels like a home again. Now, Georgina's arrival just happened to coincide with Catkin getting in touch, and I'm really happy to say Catkin are sponsoring today's video. Catkin is a fantastic UK brand of really high quality fresh cat food. Catkin is 100% fresh meat or fish. It's actually human grade meat or fish, and it comes frozen. You store it in the freezer and then you defrost it in the fridge and then serve it. There are 7 different recipes, and it's really tailor-made to your cat's needs because you fill out a survey before you place your order. So I was really interested to see how Catkin would be in comparison to commercial cat foods because it doesn't contain the fillers that commercial cat foods do. It's 100% human grade fresh meat, which means it's packed full of nutrients, and I was interested to see if this would really help Georgina's energy levels because she was slightly lacking in energy when she first came to us. She was recovering from having been spayed, so I was interested to see how she would like the food, and I have to say she gobbles it up. She really enjoys Catkin. I've definitely noticed that the food really keeps her full for a very long time. She doesn't ask to be fed throughout the day, and I've seen a big increase in her energy levels too. She's really playful now, enjoys chasing after her mice and playing with her various toys. If you'd like to find out more about Catkin for your cat, then you can check it out using the link in the description box or scanning the QR code on screen, and use the code VINTAGE50, which will get you 50% off your first trial box. So it's definitely worth checking that out. Thank you so much to Catkin for sponsoring today's video. It's just so lovely to see how much energy Georgina has now. So now the kitten embroidery is done. I'm just adding some floral embroidery around the edge. I'm using Lazy Daisy stitch for the flowers, and I'm putting some French knots in the center of those. And then there's like a leaf or branch in the middle, which I'm using stem stitch and straight stitch to outline that part of the design. And it's just so nice to spend a bit of time just doing some really simple embroidery and to really capture the memory of welcoming Georgina into our home. And yeah, it's just a really special time. It's been strange not having a cat around, so it's lovely to get to know a new cat, and I hope we have many special years together. So now I'm just using the hexagon templates that are free on my website to cut out my embroidery, and it has the wadding on the back. to be the right size, and I'm now using the larger hexagon to cut my backing fabric. If you want those hexagon templates, you can find them on my website. I'll leave a link in the description box below. They're on the free patterns page. I'm in the process of redoing my website, so that link will change eventually by the end of the year, but I will try and update it. But if you ever are looking for something, then my website will always be vintagesewingbox.co.uk, and there's a free pattern page, and that's what this is on. Sometimes people say to me, why haven't you got the acrylic templates for these? Well, I don't have them. I had one acrylic template that was a similar size. I'm not sure what that is, but I find the paper ones to be fine. It's an inexpensive way of creating them, and I've done the half hexagons templates as well. They'll be on my website in the free patterns page, so that I can now use some smaller pieces of fabric, which are very pretty, to create some half hexagons to straighten the top edge. I'm not going to straighten the bottom edge because I haven't finished the quilt and I'm not ready to straighten the bottom edge yet, but it's exactly the same as what I'm going to show you now for the top. You just need to do them the other way up. So you need to put your template on your fabric the other way up with the shorter edge at the top. But the principle is exactly the same, and it's the same for how I've made the full-size hexagons. We're going to cut the top fabric and the wadding from the smaller half hexagon template. I'm just really making sure I've got the image from the fabric that I want on there, and I'm not going to cut anything off. So we cut them from this, and then there's a slightly larger half hexagon to cut your backing fabric out. So once you've layered them all up, you're ready to turn the edge of the backing hexagon over twice to encase the raw edge. Now it is a little bit more fiddly because there isn't a lot of room. I do recommend pinning your layers together. That helps make sure nothing's going to shift while you're folding over, and you will get some pointy dog ears at the corners, which you'll see in just a moment, but I'll show you how to fold them in. I like using this little clover seam roller, but you can use an iron for this, or you can just finger press. You don't need a fancy tool, but you just fold it over to meet the edge and then fold it over again. And I find the wonder clips to be brilliant for this. Just hold everything in place so you can get it all ready before you stitch it down. So it's one of those things that the more of them you do, the easier it gets. It is a bit narrow for folding it over, but the more practice, definitely the easier these get with just folding them over and making those corners look as neat as possible. But I thought I would leave this clip in so you could really see me playing around with it and get an idea of what it's like. So this is the position where it will go at the top of the quilt. That's where the half hexagon shapes are left over, and if you fill them in with these half hexagons, then you'll get a nice straight edge for the top of your quilt, and you can do the same on the bottom. They'll just be the other way up. I'm not going to put mine on just yet because my quilt isn't anywhere near the size that I want it to be, but just so you can see where they fit in, I thought I would just show you. I'm going to make some more first before I add anything to it, but I will keep you updated because I've been working on the quilt and I really enjoy it, so I'm going to do some more. At the edges, the left and right sides, I'm going to put them in like that, and then the left and right sides where they're sort of zigzaggy, I'm going to keep it like that. I'm not going to make quarter hexagons or anything else to fit in. I want the zigzaggy edges. I like that about this quilt, and it does mean you can always keep adding to the quilt if you want to make it bigger. That's one of the things I love about this quilt, is that it's never quite finished if you don't want it to be, and that's certainly what kind of project this is for me. It's ongoing. I don't have any ambition to finish it anytime soon. I want to keep adding to it, and that's why I'm going to leave the edges zigzaggy, but also I like the look of those and I want to keep it that way for now. But I'm really enjoying working on it, and I will show you progress as we go along, and I will work on it a bit more I think over Christmas because yeah, it's a really special project. I've actually added some of the hexagons from today's video, so you can see I put the little kitten hexagon, the Georgina hexagon, that's gone into the quilt now, which I'm really happy about. And I've got lots of embroidered ones, but I want to intersperse them with fabric ones so it spreads the embroidered hexagons out quite evenly throughout the quilt. So I'm still working on that, but yeah, it's a joyous project. If you haven't tried one, then I'll leave a link now at the end of the video to the first video I made about this quilt called the Perfect Quilt Project, and you can take a look at that and maybe it will inspire you to make one of these quilts for yourself. It's a lovely process and you can make it as big or as small as you wish. You can work on it and then put it away, and like I said, you can add to it again in the future because it's never quite finished, but then it's always finished as well because the back is already on. And yeah, it's an interesting project in that sense. It can be finished at any point, but it also can be carried on with at any point. You can pick it up and put it down. So I love it for that. Thank you so much for watching. Take a look at that video if you haven't seen it, and I'll see you next week with something else. Take care. Bye bye.